everyone, it's Rocky. It's been a while since I've just kind of chilled out and vlogged with you guys and just chatted and kind of thinking through some of the things that we've probably never talked about before, and felt like I wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself. And this is probably where I lose a few people because no one really cares, but I remember being asked when I first started my YouTube channel, sort of like, why fashion and why did I get into fashion? And for people who have known me my whole life, there's sort of this lifelong battle that I've been having with myself. There's this dichotomy that's very Gemini-esque about me. On the one hand, I am very tomboyish, very much a tomboy, and I embrace that. But on the other hand, I am so much into being a girl, being a woman, and embracing all of the things that come with that. It's been this way my entire life, I swear to you. I grew up with two brothers, which I think I've mentioned to you before. And of course, you know, you look up to your brothers and you see the things that they're able to do and you want to do those things. And I think that's where my, being a tomboy stems from, just trying to be like my older brothers. You emulate them, you look up to them and you emulate them. So I wanted to be like them. So I played with the same people that they played with, which were all boys. I tried to get into the same things that they were into. So that's, climbing trees, jumping off of roofs, sledding, biking, building your own bike, all the, daring and risque things that boys do. I was right in the middle of it. And in order to do that, in order for them to kind of forget that you're even a girl, you got to kind of play the part. You got to look like them. So you can't be out there in a dress and ribbons trying to jump off the roof of your garage. It just doesn't fit. So you got to play the part. And so I've always struggled with, that piece of me, right? Wanting to be accepted and be among the boys and be one of the boys. But on the other hand, I still have, the prettiest mom you could ever want. She's always been into fashion. She used to have all of her, little makeup and her perfumes and high heels and just be so into just looking all woman. And I used to love that. I played in her makeup, put on her perfume. I think everybody's mom had the Chantilly lace perfume. And I used to put on her perfume, put on her eyeshadow and things like that and just, pretend to be her because she's just so pretty. And she got so much attention for being so pretty. Every time we would go out, men would compliment her, women would compliment her, like, you are so pretty, you're so beautiful, your hair, your makeup, your clothes, where'd you get this, where'd you get that? And I admired that. And my mom was so into all things girly. She would always be looking for the prettiest and most frilly dresses to put on me, put ribbons in my hair and all of that. And when she did that, when she dressed me up like that, I got so many compliments. So I absolutely loved being showered with the compliments of being really feminine on one hand, but also strive to want to be accepted by and be just like my brothers. So that has been this battle my entire life. So I kind of play that line in the middle. Even now, you see it now, like, I'll dress really nice, but I won't, only partially because I don't know how, but I won't do my hair and I won't do my makeup. Because I still want to know that what I am being maybe celebrated for isn't superficial. I want to know that I've earned everything and that I've gotten it in my own right, and it's not because of looks and it's not because of anything above and beyond that. I want to be respected, and I love being respected just for being me. But on the other hand, who doesn't like to be showered with compliments? So my whole life, it has been a back and forth about being the best and greatest and most beautiful in that whole, realm of fashion. So I've always shopped like a crazy person. Whether I wore all the things or not, I always had a closet full of tons of clothes, of things that were fashionable. And when I did finally decide to wear something nice, or whenever I wore anything, I always got compliments. What I wear was always was cute or put together very well, or whatever the case may be. But I also never wanted to be in a position where I was, sexualized or objectified or any of those things. So I actually, how do I say, like, I used to almost gloat about the fact that the men in my life, the guy friends in my life, most often forgot that I was even a girl. When they would come to me for advice, they'd be like, hey Rocky, let me ask you something. If you were a girl, would you da 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 da? And I'm sitting there thinking like, I am a girl, but I'll give you the advice anyway. So I used to absolutely love that, and but at the same time, wanted to be seen as a woman. I liked to be complimented too. It's just such a weird thing. So for a long time, I went through, I would wear things that were cute, but I would try my best to mask and cover the things that made me a woman. So all of my curves, my hips, my butt, all of the things that were woman-esque, I would cover, I was ashamed of, or whatever the case may be. So I went through a very long time, maybe up until 2009, 2010, covering myself, and or wearing things that were just not my size, way too big, because I just did not want to show those things. But once I started to accept, that I am a woman, grown woman, I started to get a little bit more diverse in the things that I wore, and just a little bit more comfortable, and so forth. And here we are today. But that struggle continues. I remember, I don't know if my girlfriend in Seattle watches these videos, but if she is watching, I remember, this is a classic example of how either crazy I am, or how crazy women are, or how crazy people are in general. But she had come to visit me from Seattle for about a week straight. And just about every night we found somewhere for us to go. And when we went out together, all the guys were clamoring around us, right? We were just like exhausted with all of the attention. And by maybe, close to the last night of her being here, we wanted to go out, but we were like, we don't want the attention. So what do? We got all dressed up, got all prettified, and then we went to a gay club so that we would say, okay, we would have a great time, but no guys would hit on us. Great idea, right? So we went to this club, had a great time. Hey, hey. I would say maybe an hour and a half into it, she and I kind of looked at each other like, this is fun and all, but this is definitely doing nothing for the ego. We got to find somewhere else to go. We got to find somewhere. We got to find somewhere else for where guys are going to hit on us. So we left, and it's just a crazy thing. It's like you want one thing while having the other thing at the same time, and those things just don't coexist. So I can't. It's weird, but it's hard, and it's like I can't be a tomboy and be all pretty at the same time, and want the things that come with each at the same time. So how I've gotten to where I am with having a whole YouTube channel dedicated to beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and beauty being probably the lowest thing on the totem pole there. But I got to the sort of the pinnacle of where I felt comfortable in my own skin, in my own body, and with who I have become up to this point. I had spent most of my time in between working. I was spending my time focused on just fashion, the latest designers, the latest fashion lines, things about fashion. One of the challenges was that the fact that I had never learned how to proficiently design clothes or sew or draw or any of those things. Like I could make probably I don't know, in a very crude way, make my way through some things, but not proficient enough to call myself any of those things, a designer or a sketch artist or any of those things. So I'm like, well, where do I fit? Where is my lane in the space that I love, so that I've grown to love so much? And out of the blue, I was traipsing through tons of fashion shows at this point. I ran into an old friend of mine who is a producer of fashion shows, and we met up, and there was some synergy there. He was looking for some operational experience, some project management experience to kind of get his creative ideas out and executed. And I was looking to live and be around fashion. And as I started to do that, I realized that I'm a bit of a subject matter expert on it. I kind of know what I'm doing. And that my side hobby was more than just that. It was, obviously a love for it, and a passion for it, but I felt like there was something that I could share and give to the world. So the best way at that time that I felt like I could do that was just kind of sharing that with other people who wanted to know, who were interested. And so I actually used to, before doing YouTube, I would post my outfits and talk about fashion on like Facebook and stuff like that. And people were coming to me for advice all the time. Where can I find this? How should I style this? What do you think this looks like? They would send me pictures of themselves in the fitting room, and where can I buy and get the best deal for this and that. And so I found that, you know, it's funny because it's like what you're destined to do and what you're meant to do usually comes to you, and you don't search for it. It's like kind of like finding love. Love finds you, you don't find it. And it was like that. Like I was like, Eureka! Everybody comes to me for this thing, and why not? Also, people come to me for business advice too, but that's another channel in and of itself. And so that's how I got into this. I was just kind of like, how do I marry the two? And I started to also watch a bunch of YouTube videos at the same time. I was starting to learn things from YouTube and went down a rabbit hole of, you know, finding people who were talking about things in the space that I enjoyed. And I'm like, well, what's the difference between that person and me? Absolutely nothing. Now, I'm probably starting from a position of deficit because I was not really into social media before starting my channel. So I didn't have like a whole gaggle of people clamoring to figure out what I'm going to say and what I'm going to do next. I am not the, I'm not a young spring chicken either. So I don't have that fanfare going for me. So I'm just grinding, y'all. I'm pressing through, but this is a space that I love. And through all of that, like, this is how I ended up here. I've always had a spark for this. I've always had some appreciation for it. And I found that this was a good space to do it. Now, I'm sure there are other ways to do it, like writing. There are actually going out and creating events and things around it, which is not off the table. But I just chose to do this first. So here and now, I'm telling you, I am in love with fashion. That's why I shop as much as I do. That's why I have as much as I do. That's why I talk about this as much as I do, because I am smitten with it. I am in love with it, and that's why I'm here doing this. But I thought I'd share that with you. Like, I wasn't always the girliest person, and I don't necessarily, still until this day, really love all of the attention that you get from looking great in the things that you wear. But I love the artistry of it, the creativity of it, and how it makes me feel. It gives me life. It makes me happy. It makes me feel whole. All of the things that, you know, if you claim you love something, that you should feel. I feel authentically myself and my best. So all of those things. So that's why. And I hope, you know, by me sort of expressing, you know, why I've done it and why I feel like I love it, might open up for you and make you think about what is it in my life or your life? What is it in your life that makes you feel that same way? And then maybe you can start to do something with it. If you're not already, maybe you can start to do something with it. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's speaking, public speaking. Maybe it's writing. Or maybe it's, I don't know. There's a million and one things. Building shit. I don't know. But I'm just hoping by me sharing my story, that'll somehow spark some inspiration in you to decide or find out what it is that you love too. So that is all. I'm just rambling on today. That's going to be what I talk about today. And hopefully you learned something. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully you subscribed already. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button right there. Yep, right there. Share it with your friends. Hit the like button. Bye.